Hi guys, it's Tito from the RV Squadron. In this video I'm going to demonstrate startup procedure of a MiG-21B fighter aircraft in DCS. So let's jump into the cockpit. Here we are inside of a cockpit of a MiG-21B. This is really a famous aircraft in aviation history, but really one of the things that it's definitely famous for within defense and uh, engineers and pilots. It's definitely its simplicity and reliability. Probably a key feature of this aircraft is and how its systems are designed is that it's really able to, from cold start until it's taxiing out, this to take no more than 3 to 4 minutes, which is pretty much coming out from the concept of the frontline fighter of the Soviet era, where really the scrambling should be really a factor, and all the aircraft systems and aircraft itself to be made operational in really very short time. It should take no more than 3 minutes, maximum 4 in typical, but probably here it's going to take us longer because we have to give some more details while we're pulling up. So we are at Sochi airfield with a nice shiny day. The aircraft is powerless, everything is off, all controls, all switches, all the systems are off, and we're going to start from there. First thing we're going to do is to supply electrical power. Basically all the systems and of course the engine are electrically started. There are two ways to do that. First, and the most easy way, is with the onboard battery. The other option is to use external ground power from the airfield, but in this case I'm going to use the battery to save some time. So the battery switch is over here to the right hand side, that one. So we turn it on, see some lights are coming up, we have already power to the DC bus. The next thing we have to do is to enable the AC bus out of the battery. We do that by enabling here the two electrical inverters and also the battery heating switch to the right. Then we have all the buses supplied from the battery, DC and AC, needed for the engine start. The next thing we have to do is to supply fuel to the engine. The 3 fuel pumps are here again to the right hand side. We have the 2 transfer pumps and then the fuel boost pump, which is directly supplying fuel to the engine. Then we move to the left hand side. That's the throttle, of course, and that small lever here, it's actually a lock which doesn't allow it to move it forward, so I move that slowly, sharply, and then the throttle is moving back to idle. Next thing we have to activate and to enable is the engine startup unit and the engine fire extinguishing system. We are now ready to start up the engine. Few things about the indicators we have to monitor. That's the RPM gauge with N1 and N2 needles. The Tomansky R25-300 turbojet afterburning engine is actually a 2-spool engine with 2 rotors, so it has 2 needles for each one of them. The exhaust gas temperature indicator, the fuel gauge, and then behind the stick we have here a small indicator indicating the oil pressure, and this here red light shows low oil pressure, which is perfectly normal since the engine is not running. Now we're ready to start the engine, and we do that by pressing and holding that button here, and we release it at the moment we see this red light coming on, which means that the engine startup unit has kicked in and it's activated. Then we monitor here that we have a positive rate of oil pressure rising. Then a second later we can also recognize that the N2 rotor is already spooling up, same for the N1. You can hear also the noise, oil pressure light goes off. Yeah, we already have oil pressure build up. and just monitor the startup sequence. Normal increase of engine RPM, then the startup unit goes off, the temperature stabilizes, and the engine is idle. Next we have to do is to supply the main buses. We do that here by starting the DC generator, then the AC generator. Then we enable the gyros for the artificial horizon core system. Then on the top, all those systems, switches are activating various systems for the engine control, autopilot, navigation, communication, and lighting systems. So we get all to on. That's the nose cone operation, the hydraulic pump, trimmer, radio, ADF, radio altimeter, RSBN, which is a radio navigation system equal to the VOR DME system in civil aviation. It's Russian military analog, but works exactly the same way. Artificial horizon, core system, autopilot, each channel of the autopilot. Here are the 4 hard stations and all the weapon systems. And here is the navigation lights, flight data recorder. On the bottom we have the gun sight. That switch here I'm just going to show you, but we don't really have to activate it for DCS. It's just a nice feature, adding some intensity. That's the gun camera, which is, of course, doesn't work in DCS, so just cut it off to improve our visibility on the gun sight. Then that's the IFF transponder. We turn to on. Further to the right hand side, we have here the radar control panel. So we switch on the radio to standby. When it warms up, that's the radar warning receiver. And all the other switches for the IFF transponder. Then we move to the left-hand instrument panel. We need to enable the RSBN system, since we already activated the power supply for it. And you can see here that it's already aligning. So probably it's time to close up the canopy. We do that by here manually with the hold open mode on the 12 o'clock. Then we can see that the master warning line is still on. That means that something is not right. That would be that we need to lock the canopy. And one more small red light here flashing. That means that we need to pressurize the cockpit. And we do that by manually moving this valve to the closed position, and the whistling noise is telling us that the cockpit is pressurized. Next, we have to enable the gun sight. We just started the fixed and the moving meshes or nets, how are they called actually, but this is something that we really don't need at the moment, because we need that only in case we're engaging someone. Then here on the main instrument panel, that button here is aligning, pressing and holding, and then it's aligns and engages the core system. So it's already showing the right heading and bearing. Then we need to set up the RSBN radio navigation system. That's its control panel. Since we're at Sochi airport, it means that there is a RSBN ground station there, which is number 6 in the memory, so we need to cycle to number 6. And you can hear the Morse code that it transmits. Here we already have the bearing needle aligning to the ground station, and also here range is pretty much about 1 kilometer, which is really within the airport area. We switch here to radio. We don't need that IV sound anymore. Then we extend the flaps to the takeoff position. Also, taxi lights are on, and we are pretty much ready to taxi. So let's have a look on the outside. So that concludes the tutorial. The aircraft is ready to taxi. See you soon in the other MiG-21 BIS tutorials.